Hey there, what's up everybody? I'm Pseudo, and we're going to be going through the final 3 elite specializations for Visions of Eternity. I didn't do one of these for the first 2, but I figured I kind of wanted to look at these last 3 because they look so cool, and everybody has been asking me about this. So I'll play the trailer at the end because you've probably seen it by now, so feel free to skip that. But today, we're unveiling the final 3 elite specializations coming to Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity. So, I'm in marketing land, I'm always in marketing land, chat, and what I actually took away from this is something a little that other people probably didn't, and also probably isn't true, but the wording here just on this first sentence, and I swear I won't do the wooden potatoes thing where we analyze everything, but is really interesting to me because of this. The final 3 elite specializations. Now, down here they do say 4 Visions of Eternity, but final's a final word, so might be a final ever. Who knows? And they do fit nicely into the hero panel. Just saying. Anyway, take from that what you will. You're welcome for being gaslighting your house. If you missed our previous reveals, make sure you check out the 3 Elite Specs blogs for Mesmer, Ranger, and Guardian, and Thief, Necromancer, and Warrior. Before we dive into details for Revenant Elementalist Engineer, make sure you tune into our Twitch channel live this Friday, noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern, for a preview of all the 3 Elite Specializations we're talking about today. You'll also be able to play all of the Elite Specializations yourself, starting on the beta, for a week on August 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is noon Eastern. And I gotta say, the art for these 3 that I also used in the thumbnail is just stupidly cool. Like, when you download this image, it's something like 8,000 by 6,000. It's insane. Like, all of these have just breathtaking art on them. They are gorgeous. Anyway, let's get into this a little bit more. Evoker, Spiritual Summoners. Having toppled the powerful Jotun civilization in the previous Dragon Rise, Jotun was poised to claim, Jormag was poised to claim the Shiver Peaks and beyond. They woke when they woke once again. However, as the dragon's influence crept south, the mountains crowned, displacing various Coden sanctuaries. It collided with the stalwart and courageous resolve in the Norn and their ever-watching guides of the spirits of the wild. So basically, you're gonna channel the spirits of the wild, which ties into Norn lore, and it's nice because we haven't really had a Norn elite spec. Despite their resistance, Jormag's campaign left lasting scars on many of the spirits, consuming and corrupting those that held the line. In the years since Jormag's defeat, and this does happen in Icebreed Saga, Norn have made strides to reconnect and commune. I guess it's been years now with the spirits. Many now turn to old practices that harken to a time when first packs entwine. This is a lot of lore. Both groups in spiritual harmony, spoken centuries old tradition of the Evoker. And even got a little Firefox logo down here. Drawing in the forces of the natural world, the Norn elementalists call upon spiritual companions and empower them with elemental energies in the spirit's behest, and the Norn have been encouraged to share this practice beyond their own help to restore and heal Tyrion's natural spirits. And again, I work in marketing land. They're very careful with their lore, if nothing else, chat. The fact that it's, in quotes, been years since Jormag's defeat, apparently, is kind of interesting, right? Like, they're just straight up saying that in a blog post. So who knows what that means for, like, actual story, like, timelines, right? How many years has it been? When did End of Dragons happen? You know, stuff like that. Familiar friends, every Evoker starts with a choice which element you want to specialize in. So again, this is like going to be ticking kind of like the Untamed Hammer on non-untames. Selecting an elemental skill on the F5 slot will specialize in that element, granting a few bonuses. First attunement skill for the element will significantly reduce recharge time, which is very interesting for things like Arcane trait line. In addition to some of the Evoker's traits and utility skills will be affected by your chosen element. And most importantly, the familiar of that element will join you on your adventures, which is cool. It doesn't look to be targetable, but we'll see. Fire Specialist will be accompanied by the Cunning Fox, water joined, and again, this is just a preview post, tune in on Friday for the full thing. Cunning Fox, water joined by Mischievous Otter, air by the Agile Hare, who looks like he has Omni Slash, and while Earth gets Stalwart Toad, Familiar has 2 different skills that are available in the F5 slot once they are fully charged, a basic and an empowered nuke skill. I'm assuming it's a nuke skill. The basic skill is charged as the Evoker uses their own weapon skills, requiring a total of 6 to fully charge, and weapon skills that match the Familiar's element will count for double, meaning that only 3 fire attunement skills will be required to fully charge the Fox's skill. Holy crap, so this is kind of like Elementalist Spear in inverse, right? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Where you just get Elementalist's etching spear on your bar. It's the progression for Ellie's been really interesting because it's been like pistol, really over-designed weapon. Let's roll some of that into spear, which kind of has unravel base time. Like Ellies have so much customization now, and then they took a lot of like Catalyst gets a bonus element thing, let's roll that into Evoker and also do the build up thing. So you can kind of see that their tech levels have developed, like the progression of the tech ladder. Evoker is a flexible specialization capable of filling a number of roles depending on which element you specialize in. So leaning toward fire may choose to focus on condition damage, as the Fox will complement those builds well, or you can just take Inferno, which I guarantee was put in the game for this exact thing. And then here's a picture of an Evoker nuking the world. I'm gonna pause real quick here, chat, and see if I can bring this up, because this is worth it. I saved this clip just for this. This is the only thing that I could see when Evoker happened, right? Hang on. I love the ultimates from this stupid game, dude. They're so animated well. But like, legitimately, that's what this skill looks like it is, where I don't know if you have to get out of combat to switch, or they get an attunement swapping, sort of familiar swapping Grandmaster or something like that, but we'll find out on Friday, right? You basically look like you just turn into Naruto Jesus and nuke Earth, but we'll see. Fiery Foxes. The Fox's basic skill is called Ignite. When activated, the Fox will launch fire and missile at your target, which I believe is in the trailer, dealing some damage and inflicting burning and enemies struck by the skill. In quick succession, will receive additional stacks of burning, which is horrifying because it's basically condition damage as a dot effect itself. After using Ignite 3 times, hopefully inflicting a good chunk of burning, Evokers will gain access to the Fox's empowered skill called Conflagration. Using this skill will summon the Fox near your target, after which it will perform a leaping strike that inflicts burning and spreads any burning from your target like Epidemic to nearby enemies up to a limit, because Epidemic can't be the only thing that's broken in the game. Tune into our stream Friday for the full reveal. And if you think that that was a lot, holy crap, we are done with 1 out of 3, chat, so grab your kids, hide your wife. Next up is Magneto, aka the T-1000, aka the Amalgam, which is honestly the last 2 names for these when they revealed it yesterday are just stellar. Conduit and Amalgam, without knowing anything like it, I just love them, right? Great names, just like Troubadour. Amazing name. Please never change that one, ArenaNet. Don't call it Bard. Azuran scientists have studied, manipulated, transformed, and occasionally displaced oozes at every level of scientific research. Can you tell that Trig probably majored in animal science? Endlessly adaptable oozes can absorb the properties of substances and living creatures they come into contact with, and recent breakthroughs has allowed them to be used as a powerful tool for both defense and offense. And who knew that Engineer would be the final thing getting Shroud? We'll see. We'll see if it's a Shroud, we'll see if it's a Veil, we'll see if whatever the crap this is, but stay tuned. Mercurial Mold is a special species of ooze, can't talk, that can form a symbiotic bond with its owner and interpret their needs in battle. It's lightweight, responds instantly, requires no special feeding, responds instantly, scares the crap out of me. Best of all, no fatalities have been reported as a result of this bonding process. Why not give it a try? This is our attempt at being tongue-in-cheek, even though it looks absolutely horrifying for PvP. Slime time. Bonded with a mercurial mold, amalgams and engineers are with unparalleled adaptive capabilities by being able to freely customize which morph skills they select. You can, or I guess they get morph skills. You can arrive to any fight with the right tools, again, customizing out of combat, kind of like a weapons master might be able to do in some kind of ideal world, to survive and dish out damage. Amalgams can I'm not salty. Shut up, chat. You're salty. And it's weird that you mentioned warrior for no reason. You gotta stop bringing it up. Amalgams can temporarily meld with their slime, resulting in an altered or even mutated form. An Amalgam's experimentation results in malleable fighter that can always find the edge in combat. Amalgams replace the engineer's utility tool belt abilities with morph abilities because that went so well on Mechanist. Hopefully it'll go better this time. We're gonna find out. There are several morph skills and you can select which ones to fight with in the same manner you select your utility skills. Cool concept, TBD. Morph skills command the mercurial mold to shapeshift into different forms, such as shield, defensive spikes, or even a massive sword. So what worries me about this, chat, is if this is just, we screwed up Mechanist, let's try it again, right? They have to nail this. They have to nail this. Otherwise, like, you think Bladesworn's in a bad place? Design-wise, I almost think Mechanist is worse right now. without all the bugs, but that's just my opinion, right? Become one with the mold and hopefully get a texture up-res from this preview. Your elite toolbelt skill is replaced by Evolve. Evolve briefly combines the engineer and mercurial mold into one being, granting a host of benefits. Host of benefits is actually a pun, chat. These benefits, however, are unique to each slime. As you select your morph skills, your mercurial mold's composition is altered to also change what happens when you evolve. These compositional shifts are called strains and can vary from granting super speed and quickness to stunning nearby enemies when you evolve. So, this is part of why I'm really worried about this being Mechanist 2.0, is Mechanist was designed around having alacrity and having extremely strong signets to compensate for the fact that it did not get its toolbelt skills anymore. The problem with that is, if you need to take all the morph skills in order to get the same amount of benefits, when you press your F5, you're never going to not take morph skills, all your other skills are going to be useless, and then we end up in the same basket as Mechanist does. So, from a design perspective, this has potential. From a not design perspective, this also is terrifying. So, TBD. Tune back on Friday. Amalgam's utility skills are stances the mercurial mold can. So they're stance skills. I'm an idiot. I forgot that. I read that and forgot it. So I guess they're not. Mercurial mold can assist you in shift in form, making you as dense as steel or as light as a feather. With the skill Liquid State, you can even melt down into a puddle, which is a possible stun break, possible evade, and all horrifying for PvP, but good lord, they need a good spec. And then we get what is possibly the coolest piece of splash art in the history of ArenaNet, this thing. Which also means that scepter, that I believe is a gem store skin, has lore implications, or they just dumped it on the lore thing after they played Elden Ring, one of the two. I'm sorry, the sun has not been swallowed. Our prayers have gone unanswered. Conduit, channeling the past. 2 people got that reference, it's good. Centuries ago, the hero who defeated the fallen god Abaddon met a strange entity imprisoned within the realm of torment. Raja, a being born of the mists, freed by Abaddon's death to seek their own purpose in life. So, life. Raja chose to accompany the hero across Tyria, and their boundless curiosity led them to study and master any number of martial and magical disciplines. Chat was telling me I never played Guild Wars 1, I know I'm a scrub, I know I should go play it, but chat was telling me this was a companion, I believe, that could spec into everything, or anything, rather. But Raja's story seemed to have ended with their companions. No one has seen or heard from them since. I guess we're calling the champion from Guild Wars 1 just the companion, right? They may have returned to the mist, unless there's something I don't know. They may have returned to the mist, tell me I'm wrong in the comments, to wander or fall into the corruption they once feared. They might have learned to mimic human behavior precisely enough to live as 100 years in obscurity as Queen Jenna, or they could have been watching our world, still learning and waiting for someone like you. And just the coolest summon, right? Harness the Mists. After the complexity of having 2 different legends in the form of St. Victor and Archimoris, in Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, we wanted to try that again, but better. No, we wanted to focus on a single legend that offered an equally unique experience. As a denizen born of the Mist, Raja is the first living legend to assist the Revenant in their adventures. Sorry, couldn't read. With the Conduit, we wanted to portray the multifaceted nature of Raja's unique link to the Mist. Thus, the Elite Specialization was designed to have a malleability and flexibility that reflects Raja's ability to transform into any profession. By amplifying the Revenant's connection to the Mist, the Conduit can tap into a deeper well of power through the legends they choose to channel, further augmenting their existing strengths. Again, very cool animations. We will play that in a second while I grab a drink. Legendary Affinity. Last bit here, chat. We're almost done. And then we can do commentary and discuss it. Legendary Affinity. Sorry, I know a lot of people have been talking in chat. I see you and just recording a thing, which doesn't really flow that well. As a conduit, you gain the ability to use Cosmic Wisdom, allowing you to further channel the powers of your equipped legend, giving rise to different forms. As an example, using Cosmic Wisdom with the Legendary Assassin stance equipped, give access to the form of the Assassin, granting conduit bonuses and movement speed, as well as inflicting debilitating conditions on foes you strike. Cosmic Wisdom only lasts for a limited amount of time, but it can be extended through the use of Affinity. Affinity is a new resource that represents the strength of your connection to your legend. Affinity can be gained by converting flow into bullets. Bad pseudo. Through a legendary skills that cost energy. So, every point of affinity you gain increases the duration of Cosmic Wisdom by a set amount. However, you lose all affinity as you swap legends. So, first thing that came to mind when I saw this, right, is you don't have to equip Raja. You can just take, like, Shiro and Malix, probably. TBD, again, get subscribed or followed on Friday. We'll do a commentary stream for their preview, but it seems to be that you just get like a sort of a Revenant F2 skill, and then you get to like super mode your legend that you're channeling, which is a really cool idea. Thanks to the power of Raja, especially since Revenants already have really limited skills, it's going to be interesting. I guess they get a super form as well, but again, don't quote me, we'll see. Thanks to the power of Raja, Conduits gain access to Legendary Entity Stance, bringing with them Legendary Entity Stance, just your god now. Bring with them various skills that harken back to when they wandered Tyria as a hero. Each skill in Legendary Entity Stance is an effect called Resonance, a bonus effect that comes into play if the corresponding legend is equipped in the other slot. For example, Beguiling Haze normally shadow steps to your target while performing a quick attack on them. However, when the Legendary Assassin Stance is equipped as your second legend, the skill becomes an area of effect target, allowing Conduits to shadow step even without a target, strikes all enemies in the vicinity. So, I suppose that each skill will be enhanced by your off legend, so it will be more beneficial to have Raja as well as another legend, but we will see. Is a base name. It is. Live stream this Friday. We hope you enjoyed the Elite Specialization previews. Oh, we did, but it's not done. Let us know in our socials and forums which one you're most excited to play in the upcoming beta on August 20th. Evoker. Tune into our Twitch channel this Friday, August 8th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, for details on the Conduit, Evoker, and Amalgam for a 4-hour stream because they're so complicated. For more information about Guild Wars 2 Visions of Eternity, head over to our official site. So, quick thoughts on this. First off, Push is in the game, go try it. Second off, Festival of the Four Winds is currently going on in the game, go try it.
And I'm Pseudo.
Third off,
I'm going to be king of the pirates.
Recording.
I'll see you in
And
Castora.
hopefully all of my
Peace
thoughts
out.
aren't completely invalidated by Friday, but this will probably go up on the channel as some kind of video. I am super stoked for all of these. They all look amazing. Again, I will play the trailer right at the end so people can get psyched and hyped and just all of the excited for these last three as well as all of them. Honestly, I've been hearing from the community that the first three were the best, the second three sucked, and the last three are the best. I've heard from the community the first three sucked, the second three were the best, the last three sucked. We don't know what these last three are going to look like or play as, and they've already been very open that they're kind of overtuning stuff going into this, but it looks like Revenant's maybe getting a super form ? NG's probably getting a super form ? And like I said, I'm very wary of them replacing toolbelt skills on anything, let alone just having the same problem as Mechanist again. So again, if any of this sounds good to you and you notice similar things or different things in the beta on August 20th, please let them know because they are getting much better at taking feedback, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm Pseudo. This is Build Wars 2. Tune in Friday for a commentary stream, and I'm going to play this and then go drink something. So I will be right back for the rest of our stream, and cheers. I will see you in Tyria. Peace. Sort of out. There we go.
Evocation was a veiled practice among Norn shamans, but the spirits
I'll save you, chat. 1 second. Okay, 4K. Let's go. Tank my bitrate.
of the wild have encouraged them to share this practice with Tyria. Evokers channel the elements to summon forth a familiar to join them in battle. Summon a cunning fox familiar to throw flaming projectiles at your enemies. Call forth a gentle otter and quench the battlefield with cleansing waves. Electrify the scene with a hair cast from lightning and storm. And break ground with the help of an earthen toad, fortifying yourself. These familiars will be your strongest allies in battle. Protect them as they protect you, and help the spirits of the wild connect once again with the greater world as the Evoker. Asuran ingenuity has done it again. With the creation of the mercurial mold, an amalgam can attune their microbial biology to their new ferrofluid friend to enhance their body in battle. Shred your enemies as you throw out globs of slime to form flying discs that cut anything in their path. Command your ooze to form around you as you melt to avoid incoming attacks, and deal out damage to enemies that stand too close. And don't forget to bash the enemy as you cleave them with a blunt mold. As an amalgam, bond with your mold and adapt to the ever-changing battlefield. A mysterious entity is at play. Raza has been watching Tyria from the mists. Channel their powers, assume different forms, and devastate the battlefield as a conduit. Channel Raza and gain ascension skills. Gain their powers, but only for a limited time. Learn their abilities to better understand the best path to victory. Through your connection to the assassin, warrior, mesmer, monk, and dervish. Unleash powers that have not been seen since the legends themselves. Through your connection to Raza, find strength, resilience, courage, and purpose as the Conduit.
Just the best logo. Anyway, that looks amazing. I'm super excited. We will be back here on Friday for more commentary on this nonsense, and if they can nail these elite specs and then go back and fix the other ones, chat, or tune them up, I think this game's gonna last forever. Like, not forever, but forever. Anyway, I'm Pseudo. If you like it here, get subscribed, get followed, and cheers. I will see you guys Friday. Peace out.